Hey everybody, Angel Cosillo here. Thank you for tuning in to another Cosillo Blade Reviews. And today we're going to be taking a look at a Tops Knives knife, specifically the Tops Moccasin Ranger. So as you can see there, just a quick shot of the knife. And we're going to hop right into the specs of this knife. First and foremost, it comes with their standard, just black Kydex sheath. Really good quality, strong clip there. Excellent fit and finish on this. You can see it's not going to lose your knife. Really good retention, but comes with a Kydex. And we'll hop right into the specs of this knife. Of course, it's the Moccasin Ranger. The overall length is 11, so from here to here, it's 11.75 inches, so it's just a quarter of an inch away from a foot long. The blade length, so from the ricasso or the end of the handle here to the tip, is 6.5 inches, which allows for really good. I think that's just a good size, useful outdoor fixed blade. The cutting edge of this knife, so from there to there, is a little over 5 inches, 5.875 inches, so almost 6 inches of cutting edge. The blade thickness, or the stock thickness, is a quarter of an inch thick, 25/7 inch. And it's thick all the way up to the tip, which is awesome. It's got a saber grind. It's got a clip point design with that false edge on the top, which again is very thick. This is part of what drew me to this knife and this design. It's classic Tops. It's just heavy duty, thick knife. The blade material or steel is 1095 high carbon steel, which is again standard for Tops. What sets them apart from other companies is that they do a differential heat treat, which means the cutting edge and the lower part of this blade is hardened a little harder than the spine, which allows you to have a knife that has really good edge retention and is very tough and durable edge. But at the same time, there's a little give in the spine, so you can chop with it, you can baton with it, and in rare cases, you could pry with it. Although, pry at your discretion. Still, Tops kind of markets their knives to be these really tough if you had to use them tools. There's a black traction coating that Tops does. I think they've changed it over the years, but it's all pretty much been the same. It'll wear away once you use it, but that's fine. Kind of helps with this 1095 rusts, so that coating will help it from rusting. But once it gets removed, you'll see rust. Just oil the knife, take care of your knife, and you'll be fine. The hardness of the blade is 58 RC. I personally don't know much about hardness or the Rockwell, stuff like that, but threw it in there just for those of you who want to know it, need to know it. The handle material is their black linen micarta scales. So as you can see, they're contoured a little bit. And they got those white liners, which again, is pretty classic standard Tops, but I think it looks great. Simple. It's just very functional. This knife has an exposed tang. It's full tang, by the way. Exposed tang with that slot cut out there at the end for a lanyard. Did come with a lanyard. I took it off. But that exposed pommel is, you can hit with it, hit things if you need, or a little more to hold on to at the end there, although it is a pretty big knife. The handle length is right around 6.5, or excuse me, sorry, I have it written down right here. Let me just read it. 5.25 inches for the handle length. So, I mean, that's relatively good. My hands are like medium size, but it fits me perfect. Very comfortable. It's got an upward finger choil, so you can choke up a bit. There's some jimping on the back for some control, and also jimping on the handle there if need be. What else am I missing? I don't think I'm missing much. It's made in the USA, as are Tops knives. Almost all their knives, as you can see. And it's just a beautiful blade. It's just a really nice blade that I'm excited to use and try out. I brought some comparisons to show you just a little bit as I talk about this knife. First one I want to show is, here it is side by side next to the K-Bar Becker BK2 Companion. As you can see, those of you who own this knife can kind of understand where this guy lies. Both of these are tanks at a 1/4 inch thick, 1095 steel. Another knife I want to pull out of my pocket here and show you is a Victorinox Pioneer A-Lox. So just a simple run-of-the-mill Victorinox pocket knife, as you can see there in size. Those are the specs for this knife. That's all the quick information. So next clip is going to be jumping to actual use of this knife. So stay tuned for that. Hey everyone, so we're going to begin with the batoning section of this review, which is mainly kind of one thing that I like to do with my knives, or need to do with my knives. And we're going to process different grades of mesquite, ranging from small little kindling type stuff, a little bit bigger, I'd say around 5 inches, 4 or 5 inches. And then we're gonna try to tackle, see if I grab it, this big guy here, which I think this knife can. So this is, I haven't cut anything with this. Okay. All right, it's looking pretty sharp. Say it's so-so. I definitely have had sharper tops knives, but this is perfectly fine. This is perfect sharpness. So, still pretty sharp. All right, so we're gonna break into this little guy first, and let's see how it goes. Okay, that's easy. You tell, and the fact that this is a 1/4 inch mesquite, Sonoran Desert mesquite. Look at that. Like nothing. So you can see that curve. That's not straight. Oh. Let's get into this bigger. So you can see that in comparison to the blade. A little more flat here. Like nothing. Wild grain mesquite. Nothing soft. That's wonderful. Quarter this one out. Again, it's almost as wide as that blade. That's why I love 1095 and 1/4 inch. This stuff works great for processing wood. Let's do this again. In it. Let's go the hard way. Look at that. That is not straight grain. The biggest piece that I'm willing to do. Look at that. About as big as a blade. Look at that. Might as well. Still just as big. Look at that. Hopefully that blade's coming through. You can see that. Still sharp. I have scrap paper. See where it's at. Lost a little bit of that edge, but that's not bad. It worked beautiful. No chips or anything in the edge. That's awesome. So I thought while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. We're just gonna carve a little bit, almost whittle with this blade to see how it feels. That's what's nice about this upward choil. You can choke up. Cutting clean. It's making curls. Yeah, look at that. Honestly, that's wonderful. But that finger choil is really helpful in that way. In the shape of this handle. And that jimping, some would call it aggressive. I think it's fine. That's awesome. So, definitely is capable at carving. You can whittle or make a feather stick, and that would help you start a fire. Same with all these curls. There. So awesome. All right. So one final thing we're gonna do is we're going to chop with this knife. I think it's very much so good sized for chopping. It's definitely got that weight. But there have been complaints I've seen on other YouTube channels. Other people are complaining about the end here, kind of like a little beak, and they say it makes a hot spot and it hurts their hands. So we're gonna see how that goes. Personally, I think it's fine, but anyway, here it is. So we're gonna go ahead and chop. So it didn't feel so bad. It did hurt when it hit my ring, but other than that, it felt really good in the hand. So for having this blade shape, it really, like, it's not that big of a blade. It definitely chopped relatively quick. Only took around 2 minutes, maybe a little less. But there it is. The tops. Moccasin Ranger. All right, so we're gonna do some closing thoughts on this knife after its use and review. First and foremost, I'm very happy with this knife. I am super impressed. Hopefully you guys are also impressed by this. First off, it did great with batoning. As you could see, it went through that stuff like nothing. Off camera, after I did the review part of the video, the batoning, I actually batoned an entire wheelbarrow as well as a bucket full of kindling and processed wood for the wood burning stove I have here at the house. And it did great. I'm gonna insert a photo probably right about now. Secondly, it also really did a nice job with that feather sticking. For being such a thick saber grind, a thick stock knife, it really did great, especially with that upward finger choil and that jimping here. It really allowed for really good control, not to mention the great ergonomics of this handle. Super comfortable. Again, no complaints. And that's just like compliments to Tops Knives design and build of this tool. It's just, excuse me, it really was awesome. I say that a lot in this review, but I mean it. Also, I want to point out with the chopping, I was able to grip back here, and this kind of bit of the tang or pummel that comes out really allows for like a good grip on this knife when I'm chopping. Other YouTubers complain about this piece here, this little beak, if you will, digging into their fingers and creating a hot spot and hurting. Like I mentioned, I hit my ring, which hurt, but had I not been wearing a ring, and also when I adjusted it and just had it there, I honestly found no issue. It didn't hurt. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review on the Tops Knives Moccasin Ranger. Let's give it one last shot there. You can hear my dog barking in the background. But just super happy with it. And hopefully this was informative. Hopefully this kind of answered some questions you guys might have or things like that about this knife. So I want to say thank you for watching again. I look forward to doing more reviews for this year. I want to give a shout out to Blade Runner Knives in Tucson, Arizona. That's where I got this knife. The owner, Rob, is an awesome guy. If you're in Tucson, Arizona and you need a knife, support local. He's a great guy to work with, and he was able to get me this knife. So that's it. Last closing thoughts. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, have a great rest of your night, day, whatever it is. Thank you.